It's been 2 weeks since our mom was taken.
We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace.
We still have hope.
We need you to reach out, and we need a way to communicate with you so we can move forward.
Somehow, some way, she is feeling these prayers, and that God is lifting her even in this moment and in this darkest place.
On January 31st, a family gathered for dinner and dropped off their 84-year-old family member back home. By noon the next day, loved ones were in panic. Nancy Guthrie was nowhere to be found. They called to check on her after she did not attend church, but got no response. The photo on your screen is of Nancy Guthrie, who is a resident of Tucson in Arizona. By evening of February 1st, the Sheriff's Department in Pima County announced that Guthrie's disappearance is officially now a case of kidnapping. On February 2nd, the police further say that they believe that Guthrie has been taken against her will, and then the details start to emerge. Now, before we get into the entire timeline, this is exactly what happened on the night of January 31. At 1:47 a.m. at night, a doorbell camera to Guthrie's home was disconnected and removed. Then, at 2:28 a.m., the application on Guthrie's pacemaker, an implanted cardiac device, was disconnected from her phone. From here on, the case begins to unravel in terms of what might have really happened. Now, here's the entire timeline that we know so far. On February 3rd, investigators found signs of forced entry into the house. Days later, they came back for a second search of the property, where they found DNA at the address. But test reveals that this DNA belongs to someone else entirely, not the 84-year-old and not even her family members or anyone else who's close to her. While search continues, Savannah Guthrie, a popular morning news show host on a mainstream American network, has made several video appeals to the kidnappers for proof of her mother's life and that the family is ready to talk terms. Then, on February the 5th, officials publicly confirmed that the blood that they had found on the front porch of the home in fact belongs to Nancy Guthrie. So far in this timeline, it's been 5 days, and the FBI at this point offered a $50,000 reward for information and leads on where Guthrie might be. The developments were slow until a breakthrough on February 10th, when the FBI discovered the doorbell camera video from Guthrie's home. Now, this video shows a masked man tampering with the camera, wearing a hiker backpack. But the man here cannot be identified clearly because of the ski masks that he's wearing, with holes cut out for the eyes and the mouth alone. Police here say that the clothes that he wore appear to have been bought at a Walmart. Which Walmart and where, that is something that the police is still investigating. By February 12th, the FBI doubled the reward to $100,000 for information on Nancy Guthrie or even on her kidnappers. Ever since the first announcement of the reward, agencies have said that they received over 13,000 tips on Guthrie, adding to their workload to identify which tip is in fact genuine. There's also an intense search operation ongoing within a 2-mile radius of Guthrie's property. In fact, just a few days ago, police found a glove which appeared to match the one that the unidentified masked man from the doorbell camera footage was wearing. But investigators have not found any DNA matches on that glove which match from the FBI database. It's been 17 or 18 days since Nancy Guthrie's kidnapping, and this case has grabbed the attention not just in the US, but beyond its international borders. Now, while US registers hundreds of thousands of kidnappings every year, Nancy Guthrie's case has created shockwaves like no other kidnapping in recent times. In fact, several experts find this particular case of kidnapping quite surprising, primarily because of its high-profile nature with a popular TV host's daughter. This premise begs the question, did the kidnapper know who his victim was? Or are they finding out now in the aftermath with all the coverage? Because the scale of the investigation to find Nancy Guthrie and her kidnapper or kidnappers is massive. For locals in Tucson, Arizona, the case is making them increasingly uneasy. Their main worry is that if this could happen to a famous person's mother, then it could happen to anyone.
It's really hard when you live in Tucson and you know you're in the desert and things like this don't happen. And this is a grandmother, a mother, and it's unsettling. It's unsettling for everybody. And we just wish that she gets returned safely.
But the most unsettling question of all is this: is Nancy Guthrie still alive? If so, why have the kidnappers not reached out to the family with a ransom request or made a direct threat? Because mind you, within the first few days of the kidnapping, media outlets in the US received ransom notes and emails which allegedly had a deadline on them to pay up millions of dollars. That deadline passed many days ago, which brings the authenticity of these so-called ransom messages into question. So if radio silence is all that the kidnappers are going to maintain, then what was the real motive to kidnap an elderly woman? Was Nancy's daughter Savannah an indirect target? Unfortunately, we will not have answers to these questions until investigating agencies find Nancy Guthrie and her captors.